Hey guys, so it's time for another coffee catch-up, except this is gonna be a little different. I'm already annoyed. Didn't think you could see my glare. The glare. Well, looks like I can't wear my glasses, so if I'm squinting at you, I'm sorry, but I have to make sure that my lighting isn't going insane like it was last time. There was this huge cloud in the way and I didn't realize how fucked up it really made everything. Excuse my French. I'm a little agitated right now. If you could tell, I don't usually cuss this much or at all, and I'm over this, you know. I put my hair up. I'm going out later today, but I haven't actually finished. I just did my makeup a bit. But anyway, I have an iced coffee this time because it's hot, and even though the house isn't as hot as it is outside, I still just needed it iced, you know, when you're just frustrated and upset. Hot drinks just make me feel, sometimes it can calm me down, but normally if I'm already hot, it'll just piss me off. Tangents that aren't necessary. Okay, so I won't be catching you up with my life this time. I do have a lot of things to tell you, but I wanted to do that later because there's a more important subject at hand, I think, that needs to be talked about, and it's been touched on by bloggers and stuff like that, but I need to vent because I have had it. What are you doing now, my love? What are you doing? You want to say hi? Come here. Don't cry. Come here. Just say hi. Who is that? Look up there. Look up there. Oh, you hate this, don't you? I love you. I love you. Okay. Waffle's been bugging me all day because he's so needy right now. And he's just, you know, dropping all my makeup and stuff. Normal cat stuff. Did you have a rough day? Did you have a rough day of like 16 naps? That must have been so tough. So let me start from the beginning, okay? Tarte was, well actually, if you want to start from the very beginning, when I became cruelty-free is around the time, or actually a little after I became cruelty-free was around the time that Urban Decay was thinking of selling to China, no longer making them cruelty-free. They had a lot of backlash and they ended up not doing that. Instead, they sold themselves to L'Oreal later on. And so I no longer purchase from them. First off, because I'm going to be ranting, feel free to correct me if I say anything that's not accurate. I do talk a lot and sometimes my mind just wanders. I'm more eloquent on paper, and I've said this before. So feel free to correct me. I'm not going to be, you know, insulted or anything. I love, you know, healthy debates, totally open for critiques. Of course, try to be courteous. We're all mature here, but let's leave the comment section as a positive place, okay? So, okay, let's get into this. My perspective is this, which a lot of people have different ones of. When it comes to cruelty-free, if you have third-party testing, you are not cruelty-free to me. Okay, I know a lot of people think maybe if we support these brands it'll show the bigger brand that they're under the umbrella of or whatever, that you know, there's a big demand for it and then that brand won't test either. To me that's just like a pipe dream, and I hope I don't insult anyone saying that, but to me it just sounds like, it sounds a little naive, and I just say that because after seeing everything that happens with these companies, seeing how greedy and money hungry they are, it just doesn't seem like that would be the right approach for me. I think if you don't support the brands after they've sold out, it'll show them how much we mean that we want it to be fully cruelty-free. We don't want any part of our money to go toward these companies, because if you are buying from them, you are gonna give the money to that bigger company because they're the ones who purchased that company. You know, I could go into like the business aspect of it, but overall, the big picture, you are supporting that bigger company that is third-party testing. So, you know, I would make a whole other video about the subject because it is like a really big, deep subject to talk about, but this is really going to be more toward the end result of that and what has happened lately, because I like to catch up on my subscribers that maybe don't look this stuff up every day or aren't that active in the community and stuff like that, so that you can know what's going on, because there have been a lot of changes and most of them have not been good. Granted, there have been some good changes. Europe and Brazil and some other places have banned animal testing, which is incredible. I don't know how limited that is because I know a lot of laws have loopholes, stuff like that, so hopefully it's actually in full effect and it has helped a lot, but I don't know the details. So yeah, the US obviously has not gotten there yet. Hopefully they will. But I think that's really the root of it, is we need to get them to just ban testing, period. Because right now, there is no law that prohibits a company from testing or saying that they're cruelty-free even though they're not cruelty-free. So they could just slap on that bunny on the package and you'd never know if they test or not, which sucks. And there's companies that are using fur on their brushes, which is not cruelty-free. It's a huge, cruel process to get fur on those brushes. And no matter how you look at it, that's not cruelty-free. Carmine is a bunch of crushed bugs, not cruelty-free. Bees go through rape and all these horrible things, like the worker bees, they're abused too. And just because they're insects, it doesn't mean that they're not as important. It's still a life that you're taking just for your superficial needs. And I hate that. And it just makes me so mad inside that these companies think that they're cruelty-free when they're not. And I know that like spans the whole argument of, okay, then you should be vegan. And I really have tried to do like my whole collection vegan, like avoiding carmine and beeswax and all that stuff. And I know a lot of companies that I buy from still have those ingredients but call themselves cruelty-free, which, you know, hey, at least they're not supporting the huge span of cruelty, which is animal testing in laboratories and stuff like that. But still, I digress. I can't get my head together because I didn't have like an outline ready or anything. This is just kind of coming in from left and right. So Urban Decay, that happened, and then Tarte decided to sell itself to Kose, I don't know how to say the brand, so they're no longer cruelty-free because they have third-party testing. And it, you know, that was actually one of the biggest brands that is like, really, because they were so proud of their cruelty-free status and not testing and all that, and they're gonna sell their company to someone who tests. To me, that is just so greedy, and I lost all my respect for them, and I can't believe it. I'm so glad Too Faced still hasn't succumbed to that. They are big advocates in the cruelty-free community, which I love, and I don't know, I still don't trust them just because part of me is like, well, I trusted Tarte and look what happened, you know, but I can't help it. That's just me. I have trust issues. But okay, so then after that, I'm trying to like remember the timeline exactly. I think right before Tarte it was Stila, and then Tarte, and then now most recently it was Milani and Jordana, which they are still cruelty-free, I think, but something happened to make me lose my trust in them either way. And they were sent some emails from certain bloggers and actually some people that I know to just make sure that their cruelty-free status was still active and they were still, you know, not testing and all that. And the reply that people were getting was very wishy-washy and was pretty much saying, okay, we test. And after they got backlash from that and everybody was like, well, you're no longer cruelty-free, and a major blogger, I don't want to say any names on this video, but a bigger blogger stated that, Milani like completely freaked out. They were saying that it was a new employee that had emailed people and that they weren't aware of this at all, and that they were still cruelty-free and that they're gonna try to get on PETA's list to fix all that, blah, blah, blah. And then the blogger replied with, well, I just looked it up and you've actually had that employee in your company for 7 years, so what's the truth here, you know? And yeah, Milani was just going around all the videos and all the blog posts and just copying and pasting the same response. One good thing that I respect about Milani, as opposed to Nyx, which is who I'll talk about next, is that Milani actually cared enough to go out there and interact with people. No matter if they're, you know, responses were very planned out or whatever, I don't care. The fact that they actually took the time to do it and then took the time to get on PETA's list, it shows more respect toward them than I would have toward any other company, because Nyx completely has avoided the subject, has not replied to anybody, and has just acted like this is totally normal and okay. So yeah, so as of right now, Milani and Jordana technically are cruelty-free, but I have lost some of my trust in them just because of the, you know, back and forth lies and not getting a straight answer for what I felt was necessary. Plus, they're PETA certified, which to me, I know there's contracts and paperwork and all of that, but there's still no laws telling you that you have to be cruelty-free to have that bunny on there. This is just kind of PETA's list that they've put together. So I don't know how credible that actually is. I have never actually looked that up. So I still need to look that up before I know that for sure. So if anyone has information on that, please tell me. So I don't know how easy it is for them to actually get this kind of paperwork done, because it seems like they got it done pretty damn quickly. So I don't know how much of this was actually money that they gave PETA just to say, hey, we're cruelty free, because I don't trust PETA. So that's another problem, you know. Just because you're gonna get on someone's list doesn't make me trust you anymore, because I don't trust that person in the first place. PETA has like horrible sexualized campaigns that completely degrade women, extremist methods that, you know, always appall me. They don't educate people the way they should. And to top it all off, they have been accused of so many controversies, including euthanizing animals and doing all these horrible things that a lot of people that were with PETA quit because of, and, you know, expose them and all that. So all the things that happen with PETA, to me, it makes me scared to trust them in the first place. Leaping Bunny, on the other hand, I would trust more, but I still have reservations about. Because when I emailed BH Cosmetics a long time ago to see if they were cruelty-free or not, the response they gave me was pretty much saying that they're not cruelty-free. Like, they were very they were going around the questions. They weren't straightforward answering them. The ones they did answer seemed like they were pretty much saying they test. And when I contacted Leaping Bunny about this, they were really rude to me. They were pretty much like, well, if you don't trust our list, you're welcome to find another list. And they pride themselves for having like the best list around, because they're very specific with telling you who tests and who doesn't test, with symbols that'll tell you if they have third-party testing or not. And so obviously that leaves you open for interpretation of what actually is cruelty-free and all that, which is good, but they'll still tell people who are super strict who has third-party testing, so you know. And I've always really loved their list, but then as soon as BH Cosmetics got on their list, I was like, wait, what's going on? Because as far as I knew, BH tests, and as far as I still know, they do test. I'm not gonna go by lists anymore because I obviously can't. I have to go through my research, the emails that I receive back from these companies, and what I see, because honestly, I have really stopped buying cosmetics. I don't have fun buying cosmetics anymore because I'm always worried, where are they getting all this crap from, you know? So if they have bad ingredients, normally they test. So a lot of the natural companies I've been purchasing from, I felt comfortable purchasing from, just because their ingredients really don't require testing, or they have like very specifically listed ingredients of what companies and stuff they're from, so I know that they're from a good source and they're not using anything that would need to be tested, or that is from a like huge manufacturer that tests or anything like that. So long story short, I've really only been buying from natural brands because of that, and obviously for the benefits of myself, because I love using more natural stuff. It's benefited my skin, my way of living. It's just, you know, it's been great and I love it, and I have fun finding all these different brands. But I don't know, like, doing my own beauty DIYs has been what it has come down to, which I don't mind, because then I know where I'm getting everything from. I can get it from farmers or from, you know, Whole Foods, you know, at least, or Sprouts, whatever. And yeah, I'm just so frustrated because lo and behold, we have another huge brand that was a great drugstore option for people who maybe aren't natural but do want cruelty-free, and it was NYX. And now they have officially sold to L'Oreal, and that pisses me off so bad because they had nothing to say to us, and we have been contacting them for weeks. Maya, who I'll link below, created a petition, which was amazing, but it did nothing because NYX didn't give a shit, which is horrible, because she really went out of her way to get signatures together. She got a bunch of them together, and they didn't give a shit to even say anything about it, to even give us the respect of explaining to us what the hell they were thinking, because all they were thinking is money. It always comes down to that, is money. And it scares me because a lot of people like Makeup Geek, who started small and are blowing up, they say they're cruelty-free and they, you know, they're made in the USA and all that, and they pride themselves in that. But when's the time gonna come when a huge company like that is gonna offer them money and they're gonna turn it down? Like, how many people are gonna turn this down? Because it doesn't seem like a lot of them are. So I get scared for these small companies that get a lot of attention and that they deserve, really, because they're so great, but then they just go around and do something so horrible with it, you know? It's like those people who become too famous and they become assholes and alienate everybody. It's like that. It gets to their head, and they forget their morals, they forget their ethics, they forget all these innocent creatures that are suffering just for their own benefit. And that makes me sick to my stomach, because that's the kind of world we live in now. I know that's the real world, but I feel like there's so much already being done to these animals with slaughterhouses, with the meat industry being so horrible, harming our environment and the people, that this is the last step of just harming everything, period, you know? Like, people don't understand why cancer is so prevalent. It's all these intense chemicals being put in these products that have to be tested, and they're not testing it the right way, so the chemicals are passing the tests. Do you know what I mean? These animal tests are outdated, they're not necessary, they're not even accurate, and so the ingredients are being put into these products anyway, and people are getting reactions, people are getting long-term diseases that they don't even notice till it's too late. And it sickens me, it really does, because the testing is not even benefiting anyone, period. It's not benefiting the makeup industry, it's not benefiting the people buying that makeup, it's not benefiting anybody, and it's killing and torturing animals for it. So if a company is going to sell to another company that has to do with that, period, to me, I've lost all interest and respect on them, period. So I don't care which way you twist it. You're never going to be able to convince me otherwise, to be honest, because that's just how I see it. I'm never going to think, well, maybe we should purchase from them just so that bigger company can stop testing, because it's not going to happen. And Urban Decay is still getting plenty of attention. L'Oreal has still been buying out all the cruelty-free brands. So it's really hit a soft spot for me, because I have to put so much damn work into something so simple that should be fun, and it sucks. Like, it's been just ruining my love for cosmetics, and I don't want to let it do that. So I've been trying to just channel my energy in a good way, and instead of letting these companies piss me off, I'm just kind of saying, like, well, fuck you too, goodbye, you know? And I'd rather show them that they're just not going to get my support any longer. And I wish more girls would do that, so that they could see how much harm they're actually causing their company by switching or giving themselves to someone who tests. So I think the more people that stop buying from these companies, the better it's going to be for our cause, because then they're really going to see the difference it makes if they sell themselves or not, you know, or else all these other companies are just going to keep selling themselves, because they're going to think that they're going to benefit from it later on, because the cruelty-free community is still going to, you know, support them either way. So yeah, NYX is gone, Tarte is gone, Urban Decay is gone, they're dead to me. I want nothing to do with their company, and I just lost all respect for their creators, their contributors. I just can't believe people would sink that low just for money, and it sucks. And I, for one, would much rather support a smaller brand that doesn't test, that is still keeping their morals and working hard just to have better, safer things to give us, and caring for us just like they care for their own company. And that's pretty much it. And you know, another thing before I leave about NYX is, after this whole thing went down, it was almost a good thing, because even if they had stayed cruelty-free, I still wouldn't have purchased from them, because they ended up being total bullies toward this other company that I'm not going to name. And they sued somebody, like a small brand, because they used a name that was kind of close to one of their products, like kind of, not even really relatively that close in my opinion, and they sued them for it, knowing this is a smaller company that struggles, and they wanted them to just pack their bags and go, close their company, leave town pretty much, and they didn't. They fought for it, and they got what they deserved, and you know, they had to spend all their money doing it, which sucks, because they're a small company trying to do a good thing. And this is what happens when big companies go crazy and all this shit gets to their head, is they attack the small companies too and become big bullies and like corporate assholes. And that's exactly not who I want to give my money to. So if NYX had stayed cruelty-free, I still wouldn't purchase from them, because they are bullies, and I'm so glad that I found out about it. So I'm almost glad that this whole thing happened so that I could know about all this, you know? And I'm not glad it happened to that smaller company, because they were total sweethearts and I've purchased from them before. But it shows people's true colors whenever you get the option of getting more money or of expanding your business the wrong way, you know? And they really didn't need it, because their brand was taking off. I know NYX was getting super popular with their face awards, with everything they've been doing lately, their macaron lipsticks, they've been coming out with awesome collections, and now it all went to nothing because they sold themselves to someone else who I have no respect for whatsoever. So, you know, you have to look at this in a good way. At least now we know their true colors. At least now I know that they were bullies, and I would never be part of that at all. And at least now we have one less company to worry about ingredients wise, because to be honest, their ingredients were pretty damn shitty. So yeah, there's that. And you just never know who's next. So I highly recommend that you guys always do your own research. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe every bunny you see on packages. Just do your own research. It really does not take that much time at all. There are forms online that are already made for you that you can just mail to a company or email, and they'll send it right back with their answers, and with the keywords that they give you, you can always tell if they test or not. If they say stuff like only when necessary, they test, and stuff like that. You can just know. Once you do this enough, even just a couple times, you'll know what keywords to look for and how to see if a company truly is cruelty-free or not. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to rant, catch you guys up on who still is and who isn't. If you guys need, you know, good sources and stuff like that, I always recommend the bloggers online, the vegan bloggers, or the ladies that are active in this community. You can even just, if you have to, you can join the PETA, you know, newsletter, so you can at least know what's going on, because they do at least tell you when the laws are passed and stuff like that to ban testing. Obviously, I don't recommend them too much because of my personal thoughts on them, but yeah, Leaping Bunny I think would be a better list than PETA's for sure. Even though I had that issue with Leaping Bunny, whatever. I still think they're better than PETA if I had to pick. And I don't know, if you guys see this a different way, I totally respect that. Everyone's open to their own interpretation of things and perspectives. I think certain matters are subjective. I don't think animal testing is a subjective matter because it's wrong no matter how you look at it, and it's not even necessary at all. And there are a million other ways that would cost less money and would be more accurate. And I've already gone through all this in my animal testing video, so if you want to watch that, you're welcome to watch that. But I always link it below. I'm not trying to plug or anything, I just don't want to have to go through all that talk too. But yeah, I'm just so disappointed. I'm so pissed and disappointed with not just the fact that Nix did that, but how they handled themselves through it, how they just said fuck you to everybody who had ever supported them, because I know a lot of my money went toward that brand, and I know a lot of y'all's money probably did too, and I just can't believe I ever supported them, because it just, oh, like I said, it makes me sick. So all I can do now is pray that this doesn't happen to my dear Zoya or my dear everything else that I have, because I mean, I obviously am someone who enjoys the art of makeup, and I'm just gonna have to start like freaking making eyeliner out of blueberries or something, because I'm running out of ideas here, people. I feel like I'm gonna keep going around in circles if I keep going. I know this was totally not organized at all, so I'm sorry, but I just really had to get this out. I've been so fed up with all this shit, and I just cannot take it anymore. I can't believe what these companies are doing, and I know a lot of people don't even know this is happening, so I just wanted to let you guys know this is what's happening, so you guys are caught up. And I highly recommend you guys still emailing these companies and let them know that you're disappointed in them, because things aren't going to change unless we do that and they see that people are pissed, you know. So you don't want to channel too much of your anger there. You want to still, you know, channel your energy the positive way and try to make a change. But it's always good to at least let them know, because I'm sure they see all the backlash they got. Just like Milani, they saw the backlash and they did something about it, which is good. It's respectful, but you know, there's just so much we can trust of that. The root of the problem is just banning animal testing, period. Hopefully we can work on that in the future. I'm thinking of different ways that I can maybe make this more active. And I mean, at least we still have a lot of other people that back us up. The community is growing crazy large, and I love it. That's another super positive thing, is the cruelty-free community and the awareness of it all has been growing because of all of this. People never, usually when you think cruelty-free, a lot of people just think that they're just literally putting makeup on animals, and that's ridiculous, because that's not what happens at all. And I know a lot of the time that's ignorance and not stupidity, so I understand, but people have to open their eyes. Like, you can't just live your life not seeing what's actually going on out there just so you can benefit yourself. It's just not the right way to do things. So yeah, I just feel like we have to work on the root of the problem now, try to just get these laws set in place, and a lot of changes are happening because of the action people are taking. So don't think that you're just one little person that's not going to change anything, because that's not true at all. All these like bans on animal testing in other countries, all this stuff would not happen without the support of this cruelty-free community and animal rights advocates and stuff like that. So, and I am totally a people rights activist too. I care about people. I care about you know, I care about doing things for people and being more active in that community as well. And I do in real life, even though you may not see me talking about it a lot. But animals can't talk for themselves, so we have to do it. Like, we can't, like, how much more of a coward can you be than to harm someone who can't even fight back? It's just sad. So, yeah, that's my little spiel. Catching you guys up with who's cruelty-free and who's not. I have a lot of ladies that I'm friends with on here that you guys probably know of already by now, but if you don't, I'll try to link as many of them below as possible so you guys have more cruelty-free YouTubers to look at and watch. A lot of them that keep you more updated than I do with those matters. I know my good friend Beauty Talk with Sin did one over some brands not long ago, so I'm going to refer you guys to that as well. And then if anyone is in the Israeli community, Maya has an amazing Facebook page that she posts on often about all of this. And it doesn't matter where you are international, you'll find a community of cruelty-free lovers or animal lovers, cruelty-free, whatever. I promise you, it does not matter where you are, there are those people out there. I didn't think anybody in Texas would care because this is like a barbecue place in every corner, but a lot of people do care, and there have been some vegetarian restaurants opening up and stuff like that, so that's been cool. I do feel alone most of the time, but I mean, you just have to go out there and find other people that share this passion, or else you're gonna feel like it doesn't matter, and you're gonna feel like a small tiny speck in the big spectrum of things, and that's not a good feeling to have, because then it's not going to give you a lot of motivation and determination to really do something about these issues. I think I've said enough. I think I've said too much. And I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but that's okay. Hashtag no sponsorships for Tecia. That's cool, it's not what I'm here for anyway. Oh man, that was intense. If you guys need a laugh, you can go watch Cherie's videos. She's always down to dance in her videos and make me laugh my ass off, so check her out. I think it's Secondhand Sweetness is her channel. Like I said, I'll link a lot of the girls below if you guys want to check out some other cruelty-free YouTubers and natural YouTubers as well. But yeah, I don't really know how to end this, so I'm just gonna say bye. Bye everybody. I keep doing this and I don't know why, just like my hand just twitches when I'm about to say bye. I get so awkward. And no, I have not taken the bags out yet, guys. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.